Okay, so you know how we're always hearing about how bad the air quality is outside?
Mm-hmm.
Well, get this. The air inside our homes can be just as bad. Or even worse.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Like, all this time we've been worried about pollution from cars and factories and whatnot.
Right.
But we never really stop to think about what we're breathing in right where we live.
It's true.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into indoor air quality.
Okay.
We've been digging into this super helpful guide called Tips for Protecting Your Health at Home. And let me tell you, it's been a real eye-opener.
I bet there's a lot to it.
Seriously. Like, I thought I was doing a pretty good job keeping things clean and all,
Sure.
but it turns out there are all these sneaky little things that can affect your air quality.
Right.
Things you wouldn't even think about.
Yeah. It's kind of like we assume our homes are these safe havens, you know?
Yeah.
But in reality, they're full of potential pollutants.
Huh. Exactly. So let's start with one that really kind of freaked me out when I read about it. Carbon monoxide.
Ah, yes.
Carbon monoxide. I mean, it sounds scary enough just hearing the name.
It is dangerous for sure.
But the worst part,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even see it or smell it. It's like this invisible threat lurking in your house.
Absolutely. It's completely odorless and colorless.
That's so creepy. So where does it even come from?
Well, anything that burns fuel. So gas stoves, furnaces, water heaters, fireplaces.
Oh, wow. Okay, so like pretty common stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If it burns fuel, there's a potential for carbon monoxide to be produced.
And what happens if, like, you don't realize it's there and you breathe it in?
The symptoms are actually pretty tricky because at first they can feel a lot like the flu.
Really?
Yeah, you might get a headache, feel tired, maybe a little dizzy.
Okay, so like nothing too alarming.
Exactly. And that's the dangerous part because people often just brush it off.
Right.
But if the exposure continues, the symptoms get worse.
Oh, no. Like how much worse?
Think chest pains, confusion, blurred vision. You might even pass out.
Oh, okay. That definitely doesn't sound like the flu anymore.
Nope. And in really severe cases, it can be fatal.
Yikes. Okay, so like everyone listening, if you're feeling flu-like and you have any fuel-burning appliances in your house, maybe don't just assume it's the flu.
Good advice. Always better to be safe than sorry.
For sure. So how do we protect ourselves from this silent killer? I'm guessing carbon monoxide detectors are a must?
Absolutely. Every home should have at least one.
Okay. But like, where do you even put them?
That's a good question. People often just stick one near their bedrooms.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's not enough. You really need one on every level of your home.
Every level.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, because remember, carbon monoxide can come from different sources.
Right. So, like, if your furnace is in the basement.
You'll want a detector down there, too.
Yeah.
Don't just assume you're safe if you have one near your bedroom.
Gotcha. All right, alarms. Check. Now, what about things we can actually see?
Like dust. I'm pretty sure everyone has a few dust bunnies kicking around somewhere.
Yeah, dust bunnies are definitely a common sight.
But are they actually, like, a big deal when it comes to air quality?
They are, actually, but dust bunnies are just the beginning.
What do you mean?
Well, think about all the tiny particles floating around in the air that we can't even see.
Like what?
Like dust mites, pollen, pet dander.
Oh, right?
Even tiny bits of stuff from cooking or burning candles can hang in the air.
Wow, I never really thought about that. But, like, is that stuff actually harmful?
It can be, especially if you have allergies or asthma.
Right.
Basically, all these tiny particles can irritate your lungs and make it harder to breathe.
So what can you do about it? I mean, short of living in a hermetically sealed bubble.
Well, that's where air purifiers come in.
Ah, okay. Air purifiers. So they really work.
They can, yeah. A good air purifier basically acts like a filter for your air.
I see.
It sucks in all those tiny particles and traps them so you don't breathe them in.
Cool. But there are like a million different air purifiers out there. How do you know which ones are actually good?
That's a good point. Not all air purifiers are created equal.
Okay, so what should you look for?
The most important thing is to make sure it has a HEPA filter.
HEPA.
Yeah, it stands for high efficiency particulate air.
Oh, okay.
These filters are specifically designed to trap even the tiniest particles.
Gotcha. So HEPA, good. What about anything to avoid?
Yeah, actually, stay away from any air purifiers that produce ozone.
Ozone. Like, isn't that like a good thing?
It is in the Earth's atmosphere up high, but down here where we breathe, it can actually be harmful to your lungs.
Huh. So HEPA good, ozone bad.
Got it. Okay, so we've covered carbon monoxide and dust. What about wood stoves? I love a cozy fire in the winter. but I'm guessing they're not exactly the best for air quality, are they?
You're right, they do come with some downsides.
Yeah, I figured.
Burning wood releases smoke and particles into the air.
Okay, but like, isn't that just part of the charm? It might seem that way, but those particles can irritate your lungs.
I see. So what can you do if you, like, love your wood stove but also don't want to mess up your lungs?
Well, first of all, make sure you have a good modern wood stove.
Like, what makes a wood stove good?
Newer models are designed to be more efficient and produce less smoke.
Ah, okay.
And look for one that's EPA certified. That means it meets certain emission standards.
So the stove itself matters. What about the wood you burn?
Yeah, the wood is super important too. You always want to burn dry, seasoned wood.
Seasoned wood.
Yeah, that means it's been dried out properly. It should have been stored for at least 6 months.
6 months. Wow, okay. How can you tell if wood is seasoned?
Well, it'll generally be darker in color than fresh wood,
Okay.
and you'll see cracks in the ends of the logs.
I'll have to look out for that.
Think of it this way. The drier the wood, the hotter and cleaner the burn.
Makes sense. So less smoke means better air quality.
It's
Okay, so the right stove and the right wood. Anything else to keep in mind when it comes to wood stoves?
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget about regular maintenance.
Like what kind of maintenance?
Well, before you use your stove for the first time each winter, you should give it a good cleaning.
I see.
Make sure the chimney is clear and that all the parts are in good working order.
So basically just like general upkeep to make sure it's running safely and efficiently.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Carbon monoxide, dust, wood stoves. Now this one really surprised me. It turns out that even cleaning your house can impact air quality.
It's true. Cleaning products can definitely contribute to indoor air pollution.
Wait, seriously? I thought, like, a clean house meant good air quality.
Well, a clean house is definitely good, but a lot of conventional cleaning products contain chemicals called VOCs.
VOCs.
Yeah, it stands for volatile organic compounds. It's a mouthful, I know.
Yeah. So what's so bad about VOCs?
Well, they evaporate into the air really easily, and breathing them in can cause all sorts of problems. Eye irritation, headaches, dizziness.
Oh, wow. So, like, I'm just trading a dirty house for chemical-filled air.
That's kind of the unfortunate trade-off with a lot of traditional cleaning
And
products.
what's the solution? Do I have to, like, give up cleaning altogether?
No, not at all. There are definitely ways to clean smarter.
Okay, good. Like what?
First, you can look for cleaning products that are labeled as low VOC.
Okay. Low VOC. Got it.
Or look for certifications from reputable organizations like Green Seal or the EPA's Safer Choice program.
I'll have to check this out.
These programs basically vet products to make sure they meet certain safety standards.
Cool. So, low VOC products. What else?
Well, you can also try making your own cleaners using natural ingredients.
Ooh, okay. Like what kind of ingredients?
Things like vinegar, baking soda, lemon juice, that kind of stuff.
I always thought that was kind of like a hippie thing to do.
Yeah, it might seem that way, but it can actually be really effective.
And better for your air quality, obviously.
That's
Exactly. Other cleaning tips.
Yeah, ventilation is super important. Open your windows while you're cleaning, especially if you're using stronger products.
Good point.
And here's a bonus tip. When you vacuum, make sure your vacuum cleaner has a HEPA filter.
Right. HEPA filters. Those are the good ones, right?
Yep. They'll trap those tiny dust particles instead of just blowing them back into the air.
Makes sense. Wow. Okay, this has been a lot of info. I'm starting to realize that there's so much more to indoor air quality than I ever thought.
It's definitely something we often overlook, but it's so important for our health.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, we put so much effort into eating healthy and exercising,
Right.
but we kind of forget about the air we're breathing all day long.
Exactly. But the good news is there are so many simple things we can do to improve our indoor air quality.
Yeah, that's what's so great about all this. It's not like we have to completely overhaul our lives or anything.
Yep. Just a few small changes can make a big difference.
Exactly. Well, I'm feeling super inspired to get my house in tip-top air quality shape.
That's great.
Thanks so much for all the great advice today.
You're very welcome.
Listeners, I hope you learned a lot from this deep dive too. Now go forth and breathe easy.
That's the goal. And remember, even small changes can have a big impact on your health.
Absolutely. Until next time.